Imagine this. A woman steps into a cockpit of the most dangerous military helicopter, but no one believes she belongs there. She's outnumbered, doubted, and every man in the room is waiting for her to fail. But then, there's a secret she's been hiding, a tattoo that holds the key to her past, a story of survival and strength. What happens next? Watch as she fights to prove that no one, not even the toughest colonel, can stop her. This is the story of how a single tattoo turned a woman's dream into reality. Stay tuned. In the heart of the scorching desert, where the sun seemed to challenge the very will to live, there stood a woman who refused to bend in the face of adversity. Her name was Mia Stone, and the heat of challenge had followed her since she first enlisted in the Air Force. From the moment she arrived, she had been met with skepticism, whispers, and subtle hints that the cockpit of the Apache helicopter was no place for a woman. But Mia didn't flinch. Every comment, every doubt only fueled her desire to prove them all wrong. This was more than just a job to her. It was a calling. Mia wasn't like the other pilots. She didn't just dream of flying the Apache. She had the skill, precision, and mindset to master it. Her determination was unwavering and her dedication unmatched. She didn't just want to fly, she wanted to be the best at it. But the road to achieving her dream wasn't paved with support. Her ability was questioned time and again, not because she lacked the necessary skills, but simply because of her gender. The world she entered was dominated by men who had spent years shaping the standards of aviation, and they viewed Mia as an outsider. Her instructors didn't believe she could handle the immense responsibility of flying the Apache, a machine designed for destruction, requiring total control and sharp decision-making. But Mia wasn't just another pilot looking to meet expectations. She was determined to redefine them. Waking up at dawn, staying late at the simulator, and pushing through every obstacle, Mia made it clear that she wasn't going to stop until she earned her place at the controls of the Apache. After years of relentless training and sacrifice, Mia was finally given the chance to prove herself. She had been selected to join the elite group of Apache pilots, an achievement she had worked tirelessly toward. It was the moment that would define her career, the culmination of all the battles she had fought, not just in the skies, but on the ground, against prejudice and doubt. But as she walked toward the helipad that morning, ready to take on the most significant challenge of her life, the air felt heavy with tension. She could feel the eyes of every man around her. Some were curious, others skeptical, and a few outright dismissive. The whispers were inevitable. They questioned her ability to fly a machine as complex and dangerous as the Apache. To them, she was still the outsider, the woman who didn't belong. The atmosphere was thick with judgment as Mia prepared to climb into the cockpit. Her hands trembled for a brief moment, not with fear, but with the weight of what was at stake. As she slid the helmet on her head and adjusted the straps of her flight suit, there was something they hadn't noticed, something she had carried with her through every trial. On the back of her neck, barely visible under her hair, was a tattoo, a simple yet powerful design, a phoenix rising from the ashes. For Mia, this tattoo wasn't just ink on her skin. It was the embodiment of her journey, her survival, and her strength. It symbolized every obstacle she had faced and conquered, every time she had been told she wasn't good enough, yet still found a way to rise above it. Today, it would serve as a reminder of the woman she had become and the fight that had gotten her here. Mia knew she would need more than just her flying skills to earn the respect of those around her. It would take courage, defiance, and the unwavering belief that she belonged. And that tattoo on her neck was a silent testament to that belief. As Mia made her way toward the Apache helicopter, the skepticism in the air grew even more intense with the arrival of Colonel Hayes. Hayes wasn't just any officer. He was a legend within the military world, known for his tough standards, high expectations, and a reputation for never letting anyone, especially a woman, into his ranks unless they could prove themselves beyond a shadow of a doubt. His eyes locked onto Mia as she approached, scanning her every move, searching for weakness, any hint of insecurity that would give him an excuse to doubt her. "Mia Stone, you're up. Let's see if you can handle this bird," Colonel Hayes called out, his voice stern, cold, and full of the kind of challenge Mia had grown used to. There was no warmth, no encouragement, just the harsh reality of a man who would test her until the very last second. Mia didn't flinch, not even for a moment. She had heard these kinds of comments before, and they no longer affected her. She was here to prove herself, not to please anyone. With calm, steady hands, she began her pre-flight checks, meticulously ensuring that every detail was perfect. The colonel stood at a distance, watching closely, hoping to find a flaw in her process. But Mia was flawless. Everything was checked and rechecked, and she exuded a quiet confidence that was hard to ignore. It was clear to Hayes that Mia had more than just the skills. She had the determination and expertise required to control the Apache. But just as the moment seemed to be hers, Colonel Hayes' gaze shifted to something unexpected. As Mia adjusted her helmet, the colonel's eyes caught sight of the tat of the tat of the tat of the tat of her neck, a detail he had never noticed before. The intricate design of a phoenix rising from the ashes. A tattoo Mia had kept hidden under her uniform, a silent symbol of everything she had endured to get to this moment. Hayes leaned in, his expression softening as he took in the meaning behind the ink. It wasn't just a tattoo, it was a mark of survival, strength, and defiance. The very thing Mia needed to prove that she was no longer just a woman trying to fit in. She was a force to be reckoned with. Colonel Hayes paused, his usual skepticism slowly dissolving as his gaze lingered on the tattoo on Mia's neck. For the first time, he seemed to see her for who she truly was. The air around them shifted, the tension thickening into something more profound. Hayes had spent decades in the military, watching soldiers rise through the ranks, yet nothing had prepared him for the story that tattoo told. It wasn't just ink on skin, it was a mark of resilience, a symbol of survival and strength that Mia had carried with her through every hardship. Her tattoo, the phoenix rising from the ashes, was more than just a design. It was a story of defiance, a reminder of the battles Mia had fought and won, against not only external enemies but the very system that had tried to hold her back. In that moment, the colonel realized that this woman before him wasn't just another pilot. She was a fighter, someone who had proven her worth every step of the way. "You've earned it," Colonel Hayes said, his voice now softer, though still authoritative. "Show us what you can do." And in that instant, Mia understood. The tattoo wasn't just a symbol. It was her battle cry, a declaration of victory to all who had doubted her. With a steady breath, she was ready to show them all. With a sense of calm determination, Mia climbed into the cockpit of the Apache, her movements purposeful, each one guided by years of training and sheer will. The moment her hands gripped the controls, the engine roared to life, sending vibrations through her bones. The power of the Apache was immediate, familiar, and exhilarating. She adjusted the controls with steady hands, her focus sharp, every inch of her attention tuned to the machine before her. This wasn't just any flight, it was the culmination of years of perseverance, the moment she would prove not just her skill, but her worth. As the Apache lifted off the ground, Mia felt the wind rush past her, the powerful blades slicing through the air. The feeling was intoxicating, a surge of adrenaline that reminded her why she had chosen this path. She wasn't just fighting for recognition anymore. This flight was about something far deeper. It was a battle for herself, for every woman who had ever been told that something wasn't meant for her simply because of her gender. The Apache was no longer just a machine. It was her declaration of defiance, her triumph. Below, Colonel Hayes watched with a mix of admiration and realization. As Mia soared higher into the sky, he knew, without a doubt, that she wasn't just capable, she was exceptional. Mia's tattoo, once hidden under the confines of her uniform, now seemed to pulse with new meaning. It was no longer just a reminder of what she had overcome, but a symbol of everything she had become. The phoenix rising from the ashes mirrored her journey. Each flight was a step in her transformation. She wasn't just a pilot, she was a force to be reckoned with. Soaring above the desert, Mia felt a freedom she had never known. The Apache, once a symbol of the ultimate challenge, had become her domain. Her dream was no longer just a dream, it was her reality. She had proven to herself, and to everyone else, that no obstacle was too great to overcome. Mia Stone had earned her place in the skies, and nothing would ever hold her back again. Before we dive into the next story, subscribe now. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Mia didn't just break barriers, she shattered them. If you love this, hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible, empowering stories. Drop a comment and let me know if the tattoo surprised you. Know someone who needs motivation? Share this video. Don't forget to hit the bell so you're the first to catch our next mind-blowing story. See you in the next one.